Plaintiff Marvin Mashett is suing his ex-girlfriend for defamation of character and emotional distress. Marvin says the defendant took things too far when she invited him on a national TV show and accused him of giving her an STD. However, defendant Jeanine Childs claims that she did contract an STD from Marvin. Jeanine is countersuing for emotional distress because she claims that after a DNA test confirmed that Marvin was not the father of her daughter, he stopped being a part of her life.
Marvin Mashett is suing Jeanine Childs, his ex-girlfriend, for defamation of character and emotional distress, and Jeanine is countersuing her ex-boyfriend for emotional distress. How are you today, Marvin?
I'm all right.
Tell me why you're here.
Back in 2007, me and Jeanine had met in local street in Detroit on West Side, and we started talking or whatever. I called her once, and the next time I talked to her...
Your Honor, that is a lie. When did you catch me?
What, did he call her? He said he called you once, and you went like this and said it's a lie.
That's a lie. He called me over and over again.
Well, I bet he started with one time.
Right.
He kept calling over and over.
Oh, this is going to be a hoot, Doug.
Yes, it is.
All right,
I
go ahead,
called her
Marvin.
the first time. After that, we immediately, the next conversation, I visited her, we immediately got intimate. A few weeks later, she calls me and tells me I'm the father of her baby. So, me being a man responsible, I stayed around, tried to stick it out to see what would come out.
How long do you know him before, you know?
You know what? Say like a month or so. Then we started having relationships, and then I found out I was pregnant. I thought I was pregnant, like, because the rubber broke. Make a long story short.
You thought you were pregnant because the water broke?
The rubber. The
condom, I was going to say, if the
Trojan.
water broke, honey, it wasn't him.
No, the Trojan, the condom.
What month were you two together for the first time? I'm sure you remember this.
February,
March, April, May,
something
June,
like
July,
that.
August, September, October,
Because the baby was
November.
born in January. So it'd be like March.
Oh, then it could be you.
Or so I kind of thought it was.
In other words, was there, after you slept with her, were there 9 months that passed before the baby was born?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so even
because
though...
she told me it was mine, and she wasn't pregnant. She didn't look pregnant when I first met her. She still had a flat stomach, but the way she was pregnant, but not by me.
How do you know?
The baby was born. I'm still thinking the baby mine. My mother looks at the baby's albino. So my mother said, baby might not be yours, and she's not looking like you.
Not.
She's not looking like you. So my mother's like, you need to check that one out. Because I have 5 other kids besides.
With how many women?
2.
So, okay. Not too bad, given what I see.
So she calls a national TV show, takes me on national TV, for a DNA test. She did. Because I told her she needed to get a DNA test, so she decides to call a national TV show, get the test.
Yeah, after he sit up there and started denying her because my house burnt up. Yeah, after that, my house burned up. I needed a little help, so I got confused and I had to get a DNA test from some way because I couldn't afford it.
You said your house burnt up.
Yeah.
Does that mean it burnt down?
Yeah, burnt down. Yeah, that's true.
How? Do you know?
I don't know.
I'm sorry about that. How many, do you have other kids?
Yes, I have 2 children live with me and I have 6 children in total.
You have 6?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are the other 4?
They with their dads.
Why?
Because I've been through a lot.
Have you?
Single mother. Trying to make everything good for mine the best way I can.
Okay. Been arrested?
Yeah.
For what?
Hanging around with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, besides that.
Nothing else.
That's not a crime. What's the crime?
That's what the crowd was. It was I went to jail because some people had some checks and then everybody in the...
Bad checks.
Yeah. And everybody in the...
There's nothing I haven't heard, okay?
Right.
How many dads for those 6 kids?
I'm gonna have 3.
3 dads for 6 kids, okay. So you take him on a national television show.
Yeah, because I thought he was my daughter's father.
Is he?
In my heart, no, he isn't.
But how were you sleeping with other men at the time that you became pregnant?
Before I really realized I was pregnant, I did sleep with someone else. But then once I got pregnant, I totally stopped sleeping with anyone. He was the only one I was sleeping with.
What difference does it make after you're pregnant? It's before you get pregnant.
I thought it was his baby. I'm like, I can't, cheat around and I'm pregnant with someone else's baby.
You're gonna be loyal to him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How many men had you slept with before? Not long before, but a few weeks before you met him. 2, 3?
One.
One? Did you have him DNA tested?
You know why I can't find him?
Why?
I don't know where he at. How can I find someone I don't even know where he at?
Did it ever occur to you that in addition to Marvin as being a possible father, that someone else you slept with at or about the time that you became pregnant might be the father?
Yeah, it crossed my mind, but I got so much into loving him, I let it go away. It slips my mind. Yeah,
Intentionally slipped.
Yeah.
Do you still love him?
Yeah, I love
you
him,
do.
but I'm not gonna let him make no fool out of me. He hurt me a whole lot.
Well, how did he hurt you?
We went on national TV, you know. True enough, I wanted to know, was he my baby father or
Right.
whatever. He hurt me by telling me, you know, change your last name, and you already see that the baby
Change
when
your
he,
last
yeah,
name?
Yeah, on
baby.
TV. Then we get
The baby, she gave the baby my last
Yeah,
name.
'cause I
and
thought
my
she was
daughter's
actually his baby.
Her
Then we
first
get-
name is the baby's middle name.
And then we get on national TV, you know, I apologize because we found out the truth and everything like that.
You did?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
She apologized to you?
Not that I know of.
Well, it's on national TV,
She
Marvin.
didn't apologize on national TV. She embarrassed me on national TV, saying some things about me giving her a STD on
Did
national
you?
TV. No,
She
I
said-
didn't.
Did you say on national television
No, I did
you
not
gave
give
an
her no
STD?
Yes, because I found out I was pregnant. I also not only found out I was pregnant, I found out I had an STD also, and I got that clear instantly at the hospital and went back for a general checkup and found out I had the same STD again.
You had the
Well,
same
'cause of me.
STD again. How do you
Yeah.
know you didn't give it to him?
And you know what? I told him about it when I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah, but
So
you were
it-
sleeping
you know
with
what?
another guy
But
too.
If I told him, if I gave it to him or not,
Did
but
you
I
give
know
her-
for sure I didn't give it to him.
Did you give her an STD?
No.
How do you know you didn't give her an STD? You were sleeping with other women.
I mean, I'm gonna say it like this. I didn't have nothing before I slept with her.
How do you know? You didn't have yourself tested before. Were you sleeping with other women?
Yeah, but protected.
All right then.
Protected.
Yeah, but you broke this time, you know. Marvin.
I'm saying, but she didn't have no business. She didn't have no business saying I gave it to her on national TV if she didn't really know. If I gave it to her, she gave it to me.
Okay,
She just gonna automatically blast me on TV, and I have a clothing line I'm working on. It's called Mikado All Day, and that make me look bad out here. I don't need that.
Did you take medication for an STD?
I got cleared.
Yeah,
Went away. It's something you can get rid of.
Yeah, you can get rid of
is
it pretty
rid of.
easily. I guess the question is, where did it start?
I had to. He had
She
to go.
act like
I had
she had
to
the
tell
test
him to go
results
to
or
the
something.
hospital in order to get it clear. After I had told
Right,
him.
because you had
what.
feelings for him.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
love him.
Yeah, she's saying this quite a bit, Marvin. You got any feelings for her?
We all right, but I don't think we can be no couple.
Well, let's see if we can work this out. We don't have all day, but give me a few minutes. Tell me about the name thing. Your baby with Shanika has your daughter's middle name.
Right, because she was
What,
so
are you the
100%
daughter?
that I was the
How
father.
old are you? Stand up.
I'm 20 years old.
Your daughter's beautiful.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay, what's your name?
Shanae Gully.
Shanae?
Yes.
And your baby's middle name is Shanae?
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
She had my last name, but it's not my baby.
What about you saying that it's okay? She's not your baby. You still gonna try to be there for her. What about
because
that?
I've been with her since she
All
was
right
born.
then. What's the difference of
I've been
having
knowing
your
her
last name?
since she was born because I thought the baby, it was a possibility it could have been mine, but once my mother and stuff looked at her and we got the DNA test, it proved that she wasn't my
Very interesting
baby.
guy, Marvin, because what you're telling me is you find out on a national television show that the baby's not yours,
Right.
and you still want to be in the baby's life.
Right.
You're a
Because
pretty decent guy.
she only knows me.
Aw.
But on national
Calls me.
TV, he's calling me all type of names,
'Cause I-
dogging me like change your last name. You excuse my language. You this and you that.
Did you
every
call
name
her
under
a hoe?
the sun.
No, I did not call her.
What'd
No.
you call her?
I said something else. I cursed, but I said something else. Look, we went on the show for a DNA test. That's it. She took drama to the show.
How do you know it was Marvin who gave you the STD?
Exactly.
I know because
Yeah.
he was the only one I was
Just like
sleeping
you
with
thought he was
around
the
'cause
father
he was
of
the
the
only one I was
baby.
sleeping with around the time I.
Darling, he
caused
wasn't the
STD.
only one you were sleeping with at or
When
about
I
the time
found out
because
I got-
somebody else is the father.
You know what? But when I found out I received the STD, yes, he was the only one I was sleeping with.
How do you know how long you had the STD when you found out you had it?
Because I go to the hospital and check on myself.
Where do you go, every week?
If I have to, I will. If I feel something
but
funny
you
with my
didn't.
body.
I get this sense that the two of you still have feelings for each other. I think, Shanika, can you understand how he feels terrible that you're on national television, he's trying to figure out whether or not he's the father of the baby, and he gets hit with, you got a sexually transmitted disease.
Yes, ma'am. I can feel that
And
'cause I'm
you
the one
cannot
took him.
prove to this court that he gave it to you. He can't prove that you gave it to him. But here's the rub. You went on national television and said he gave you an STD. You can say what you want in a courtroom. There is a certain protection that you have legally so that people say the truth. The courts recognize that people can say what they want in a courtroom with a certain amount of protection from liability because they want to get to the truth of it. But when you go on a national television show and you say he gave me a sexually transmitted disease and you cannot prove to me that he gave it to you, then we've possibly got a defamation suit. Okay. You're suing him for emotional distress?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
For him telling me to change her last name on national TV. Then in my first, knowing I'm already devastated because he's not the father in my face. He's telling me, well, he's going to be there for her and he's not going to be there for her.
He doesn't have to be. He says to you, I want you to change the baby's name because it's not my daughter. Don't you think he was hurt that day on television? Yes. All right. Your countersuit is dismissed, but I want to talk about the two of you. This guy's a good guy. And you know he's a good guy. Yeah. That's why you want to keep him.
He could be.
No, you know he is. That's why you want to keep him. Okay? Any guy who says, I want to be in the child's life. And by the way, do me a favor, find the other guy and get some child support from him. Use enough energy that you're using against him to find the other guy. What?
No, I said because the real father owed me.
He owes you?
Yeah.
You could sue him in another show. Now, to two of you. As far as the court is concerned, the issue of whether or not you made a false statement claiming on national television that he had a sexually transmitted disease is not protected speech. It is slander per se. I don't know who gave who the sexually transmitted disease. But what I do know is this. You said it in a forum where you were not protected in that speech. You cannot prove it. You cannot prove it's true. So as far as I'm concerned, that is slander per se. That means that there will be a finding for the slander of $2,000 for the plaintiff. I can't tell you what to do with the money, but if there's a baby that you want to help take care of, you got a little money and a little cushion to do it. Okay? Why don't the two of you have a cup of coffee? Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Okay.
Relationship with Shanika is all right. We're going to still be talking and I'm to help out with the baby.
My relationship with Marvin is I have a lot of love for him, but we'll never be together or anything like that. So we'll still be cool.